All right, we are live on YouTube. I just need this um, video to connect over here on the left so I can grab the link and put it in our group so that our community can conveniently join us live on YouTube by just clicking the link and enter the live chat. All right. YouTube has been doing very good about giving me this link, and I sure appreciate it. Boom, we got it. All right. Speaking of groups, are you an entrepreneur struggling and spinning your wheels to make it to your first six figures in business? Then this morning show is just for you. But being in studio for this show and having the opportunity and the advantage of being in the hot seat to get your individual obstacles addressed, like Heather and Teray and Dewana and Dr. LaFera, Dr. Toya, Dr. Tachi, and Deborah, is just one of the ways that you can take advantage of the value given by our group, okay? Go to shaycannon.info/group to join us. We come together as a free business mastermind, giving more value than most paid masterminds. We have three pillars of value. Number one, we come together and build community with events like a virtual happy hour and a movie club night. Number two, we are intentional about collaborating to make each other's businesses better and make money together. Number three, we have conversations that are transformational for your business growth, like free trainings and this morning show. So join us, shaycannon.info/group. All right, welcome to Your First Six Figures morning show. This week's blog is let me grab that link for you. It is at shaycannon.com/others, okay? Because what we're talking about is business growth by effectively watching others. Now, we know that you watch others all the time, right? As entrepreneurs, we're always looking at other entrepreneurs, but are you doing it the right way? Are you doing it in a way that's effective? Are you doing it in a way that pushes you forward rather than holds you back? Okay. Stop comparing yourself only to hold yourself back because you think you're not good enough. We are giving you ways to watch others that can effectively help you move forward. All right. So the first thing we talked about is using others as inspiration, right? Using what you see as proof that it can be done, as proof that you can do it, make it an inspiration. If you want more information on how to make watching others an inspiration, go to part one. That was Monday. Then we came in with, if watching others is making it good for what you can see, then being motivated is all about the actions you should continue to take, right? So being motivated is about you continually take actions consistently. If you want to know more about motivation and getting that from watching others, go to part two. That was yesterday's replay, okay? Now we're getting into more tangible strategies that you guys are used to. And that is, today we're going to talk about business model, watching others for the specific purpose of looking at their business model. So you can analyze the business model of those in your industry to uncover things you may be able to add to your offerings or your marketing that align with your vision and mission. Okay. We're not just doing everything everybody does. It has to align. Okay. So pay attention to the structure of their business, the way they package their offers, and unique marketing strategies that they employ, okay? This analysis can reveal ideas and methods that you can adapt to suit your own business. The goal is not to copy, but to learn and adapt, using these insights to refine your own strategy, okay? So we're not trying to do exactly what everybody does because they don't have exactly our vision and our mission, but we're trying to get some ideas. We're trying to be innovative. What about what they're doing can we do? Okay. By focusing on the aspects that are in harmony with your mission, you can strengthen your business model in ways that are true to your vision, setting yourself up for long-term success while staying authentic to what you stand for. That was the blog. And as you know, on the morning show, we give you more. So let me find my show notes. And let me introduce myself. If you don't know who I am, I'm your host, Shay Cannon. I'm an award-winning fractional chief operating officer to an exclusive clientele of 6- and 7-figure CEOs, living my best life just 3 blocks from the beach in Mexico. I use my superpowers to create a foundation of business growth to position online service-based entrepreneurs like you to generate your first six figures to fund your desired lifestyle of freedom, even if you don't have a team. All right, let's get into these notes I have for you about business model. So I know I gave you a few suggestions, but I want to give you more suggestions on what exactly you should be looking at in other business models. Okay, now these are areas that you are to look at. It does not mean you are to adapt all of these areas. We're looking at them to see what we can pull to be innovative, okay, and adapt it into our business model. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to do it exactly the same. Okay, and you need to keep in mind, what is your mission? What is your vision? You need to keep in mind, is it a time to do it? Is it a future time to do it? Not right now. All of these things. All right. Now I'm gonna give you 10 things you need to be looking at that's possible for you to adapt into your own business model. And when we get started with the round robin, I'm going to start with Dr. Toya. All right. Number one, you should be looking at pricing strategies. Okay. Even though your price doesn't have to be this, I mean, we're not gas stations, okay? We're not trying to match the price of everybody else. We're not Walmart. We're not always trying to have the lowest price, but we want to keep in mind the pricing of other people. We want to know what the price is, okay? So pricing strategies, analyze other people's pricings for their products and their services. Look and see, do they have tier pricing? Are they having any bundled pricing? Or do they have value adds like bonuses? Like, what does it look like? Because this is the climate of your industry. So you at least need to know what's going on. And then we consider, does it match our mission and our vision? All right. So that was number one. Number two, let's look at their offer. Okay. What is actually included in the offer? Are they missing anything? Do they have something in their offer that maybe we need in our offer, right? I love to exploit those gaps. If they're missing anything, baby, I'm gonna shout to the rooftops how you don't have what I have, right? But you don't know to do that if you're not looking at the business model and the offer itself. As a part of the offer, we're gonna look at, how are they doing some special promotions for their offer? So just think about the structure and the restructuring of offers, right? We also want to have an irresistible offer. Shout out to Alex Hormozy, right? So if you don't know how to build an irresistible offer, then you might need to get his book, $100 million offer, okay? Number three, marketing funnels. Okay. We need to be looking at funnels. Russell Brunson became popular for quote unquote funnel hacking because all he did was looked at funnels to see what worked. And he hacked those funnels to then make it a part of his funnels. Okay. What were the things that are working? So study the types of funnels that are happening. Look and see what kind of lead magnets people are using. What are these emails that they're getting, right? What kind of sales events are they leading people to? How are they pitching the offer, right? So we can pay attention to an entire funnel, right? Because I know this is some of our weaknesses is building funnels. So look at other people. It's funny because I know some people that have businesses, all they do is get people's lead magnets all the time just to see what the funnel is like, right? I want you to think about some of the businesses, not necessarily in your industry, right? But businesses that you give your money to. Think about how, if you opted in for a lead magnet or you bought a product, how often do they send you some type of communication? How often do they repitch another offer? That's a funnel, right? I'm gonna tell you, if I, even though I don't have a boyfriend right now, you know who's gonna text me every day without fail? That damn Tracy Ellis Ross with that pattern. She gonna text me every day. Okay, I can depend on it. So what does your funnel look like? Okay. Number four, customer retention tactics. Recently, I did my quarterly budget and my quarterly budget analysis. And I let go of some tech and some offerings and some subscriptions. And I paid attention to who was offering me things to stay and how were they offering it, right? And did they get me? I'm gonna tell you one thing that gets me is the pause. I love that pause when they say, "Oh, don't go away. Why don't you just pause it, right? And then, on this date, we'll just start it back up." Well, y'all know I'm gonna forget about the pause and they're gonna get at least one more payment out of me. Y'all know that, right? So I love the pause and how they're doing. I don't like it when they get me, but hey, it's a great tactic for customer retention. But look at how others are retaining customers. Are they offering some type of, win back type of bonus, some type of discount to stay. That's another one that they do. They'll give you a discount for like 3 months and then take you back to the regular price or something. So I love the customer retention tactics. Heather says StreamYard did that to me when I canceled my plan. Yeah, they got me too with a pause. And I was like, yep, now unpause. And cancel. Number 5, brand positioning and messaging. We need to understand how our competitors and people in our industry are positioning their brand with their messaging. How are they standing out? What are they saying, right? How are they saying that they are the best option? What are the things we're not saying that we should be saying, right? So we need to look at brand positioning and see what we can pull out of it. What is the storytelling that's going on? What is the tone of voice being used? What kind of content are they using that seems to resonate with the target audience? Because I always look and see who's getting a lot of engagement. Okay, I love Gabrielle Allen. She's a hairdresser, and she's known for natural hair and color. And that girl right there know how to go viral, right? So I'm always paying attention to how she's capturing attention and the storytelling that she does to keep the attention, right? It's not always about the product that she's selling. She keeps our attention every day. Okay. And she's not even talking about her product. So by the time she does talk about her product, she already has our attention. So how can we do that, right? Number 6, client onboarding process. Observe the onboarding experience you have with different people, or that you notice that other people are having with different people in industries and competitors, okay? Because what we know is the more you can create an experience, the easier it is to start to eliminate buyer's remorse, right? Especially in your high ticket products, right? In your high ticket offerings, when people pay a bunch of money, it was hard for them to decide to spend that money. And once it flies their bank account, they start feeling some kind of way. You definitely want to have an onboarding experience that make them feel like they're in the right place. They did the right thing. This is going to be awesome. Okay. Yeah, you want to work on a client onboarding experience. Okay. If y'all will remember when I had the anniversary sale on the workshops, the reason why I couldn't use the cart that I built in Go High Level is because when I tested it, it didn't give an on-screen confirmation. Well, I know y'all, and I know y'all need that on-screen confirmation as a part of your experience. And when it's missing, y'all gonna start inboxing me. Even though the automatic email was going, y'all aren't even gonna look for the email because the experience didn't start on the screen. So I had to go ahead and convert back to Samcart until I could learn how to do that on-screen experience. Well, those of you that got the success kit with Clarity on the Business Clarity Clinic, you got an on-screen confirmation from Go High Level because I learned how to do it. But I was not willing to just let that cart stay out there without that experience as a part of it. So start looking at what are the experiences you know your people need, and what are the experiences they are getting elsewhere that you can pull in to their experience with you. All right. Number 7, revenue streams. Okay, so we want to look and see what are people's down sales, what are their upsells, what are their cross sales, right? Are they selling digital products? Are they selling consulting services? Are they hosting online courses? Are they running membership sites or memberships? Like, what are they doing as the different levels of an offering ladder, right? So we have a main thing, but if we can't get them into the main thing, what can we get them into and take them to a journey that drives them to the main thing? If they are in the main thing, is there something of a higher level of service that we can give them as an upsell? So we need to know what's going on, because sometimes, depending on the climate of what's going on in your industry, you might even have to switch what your main thing is, or you might have to bring in elements of something higher in your main thing, right? So pay attention to others' revenue streams. How are they putting their things outside the main offer together? Number 8, content marketing approach. Okay, we need to study the content that people are using to engage our audience. Okay, we want to engage our audience. So what are they already engaging with? What content approach are people using? Okay, what we know is we can't just sell. We have to start seeding the sale. We have to start then, introducing the sale. When we have the sale, we then have to do follow-up promotion. We have to add some urgency, but all of that is coupled with content. Now, we've talked about content pillars in the Business Clarity Clinic, but we want to see how are others using their content pillars, because we in the industry can have some of the same content pillars, but how are they using it? Where are they using it would be a great thing, right? So we want to look at all of that. So take notes on the content that seem to resonate with your audience that other people are using, and we're going to explore how we can then do something similar, okay, that aligns with our own brand voice. Number 9, customer feedback and reviews. Okay, customer feedback and reviews. So I love reading the reviews of people that do what I do. I love it because what we know is reviews aren't always positive. Sometimes you can go, especially the gurus, you know, their reviews, because they get so many, because they are a high profile service provider. What we know is they're going to have a bunch of good reviews and a bunch of bad reviews just from sheer volume. And what I like to do is learn from the bad reviews. What is the problem they're having with my competitor that I can then use as a unique selling proposition that they will not have that problem with me, right? Or how can I say, I know I can resonate with them by saying, I know you might be having this problem, but this is how we solve it, right? So I love that. Also, we're going to look at what reviews they're getting that's good. We want to know if what they're doing that people are raving about is something we should be pulling into our business model. Does it resonate with our vision and our mission? Okay. Sometimes what people are doing that's good doesn't resonate with how we do things, and we're not going to change our whole business model just to do that. Okay. So again, the litmus test, the measuring stick is our own vision and mission. This is why you should not be exactly copying. Okay. Last but not least is sales processes and techniques. Okay, sales processes and techniques. After somebody pitches me, I love to pay attention to how they follow up, because I know the fortune is in the follow up, but I also know my follow up can be weak as hell. Okay, so I pay attention to how are people following up, and if I were to follow up that way, would it make me feel okay following up that way? See, sometimes following up just feels icky to me. And some of that is mindset, but I'm not a salesperson. I simply offer an opportunity. So for me, I'm only gonna go so far with that follow up, and then I'm gonna be telling you that God said no. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna leave. You're not gonna get a million emails from me. I'm just not gonna do it. So I look for ways that resonate with me where I can extend my follow up period in a way that doesn't feel icky to me. So I very much pay attention to how people follow up with me. And let me tell you how most of them get on my damn nerves, and I don't want to be that person, right? So I look for things that make it all right with me that they have continued to follow up. Because what I understand about sales is our job is to get a yes or a no. So we're supposed to keep reaching out until we get a yes or a no. A no is fine, but we need a yes or a no. Our job is to get them off the fence. If they have not told you yes or no, that should be the permission you need to continue to follow up. Okay. So that's that mindset shift I have to make. I don't know if you have to make it or not, but in me, I just don't like bugging people because I don't like to be bugged. So that's where my hang up comes from. So that was the 10. I'm going to go back through them without all the extra. And we're going to start with Dr. Toya. I want to know which one of these do you think you should be looking at in other people's business models that you feel like will be successful in yours? And tell me anything about business models that you think is an obstacle for you. All right. Let me go back through. Number 1, look at the pricing. Number 2, look at their offer. Number 3, look at their marketing funnels. Number 4, look at their customer retention tactics or win back techniques. Number 5, look at how they're positioning their brand with their messaging. Number 6, look at their onboarding process. Number 7, look at their revenue streams. Look at those upsells, downsells, cross sales. Okay. Number 9, look at their content approach. No, that was number 8. I'm sorry. Content approach. Number 9, look at the customer feedback and reviews. And finally, number 10, look at their sales process and techniques. All right. So we want to look at these things again, not to say they are better than us, but to see what resonates with us and our people that align with our mission and our vision that we can pull into our business model. Okay. So, Dr. Toya, which one of those strategies do you think you should be looking at to improve your business model? And what about your business model might be something that's an obstacle for you?
Yeah, so I'm a funnel hopper. I love getting into people's things just to see what their funnel is like. but then I don't take action, but it's in my mind, it's running around in there. So I should probably document, like the things that I like and the steps that I like in funnels, but I definitely enjoy that aspect of it. Um, an obstacle, I guess, would be the execution.
The execution.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I get that. So I think that is, that's some of that nap time we're going to take away, Dr. Toya. I fell down a nap
Yes.
funnel yesterday,
Yes.
but and ended up working late last night. But so I feel like that has to become a part of like our template week, right? Or something that we lean into. For example, that could be something that you do monthly. Like you can gather things that you like from other people's business models on their funnel, and you can collect it somewhere and then go back and look at it in a month and pull one or two strategies from it. Now we put that on our production calendar, right? For the next month as one of our goals. So what I'll say is what I'll do is I'll print an email and I save it on my desktop in a folder and it says examples, right? And so I'll save the email and I'll name it example of, it might be win back, example of follow up, example of upsell, example of, you know what I'm saying? So when I'm getting these emails, or even when I'm on Facebook or I'm getting the advertisement, I'll screenshot and save it in that same folder. Example of. So I have examples of a few different funnels that I like, and each of the pages that's on the funnel, right? So that when I say, okay, I go back and I say, I like this, or I get ready to create a funnel, I can go into that folder and be like, okay, what was my inspiration at one point, right? So I think first is collecting it in a way you can go back and retrieve it. Second is putting it on your calendar, possibly monthly, to go back and be inspired by these things, and then put it on your calendar monthly to pull one or two steps that you're going to execute. Is that helpful, Dr. Toya?
Yes. And I definitely like the thought of saying it monthly,
Mm-hmm.
because it makes it systemized and that's not overwhelming. And I currently have like thousands of photos on my phone. But if I had, what happens is when I don't have a way to go back and look for them, right? So I think from talking, you just saying this, I need to create like a folder in my Google Drive. So as soon as I save the folder, as soon as I save the photo, I can just automatically put it there. So I don't have to now scroll back through thousands of pictures in my phone,
And
which
start
I'm also doing.
and rename them, like, so that you know what that photo is supposed to be. So this is how I organize stuff, right? So first I have a high level thought of how I'm organizing it, things that I like examples of, right? But then what I'll find is within that collection of examples start to pop up sub collections. So now I can pull you into a sales funnel. I mean, a sales folder. I can pull you into a marketing folder. I can pull you into a sales page, folder, because now I have so many examples that the example folder needs organization of subfolders. Does that make sense, Dr. Toya? Because another thing is, if we go in there and it's a bunch of shit, we ain't gonna look at it. If you didn't name the stuff right to where it's gonna help you to immediately identify stuff, and then if you start having too much stuff that you now are not creating new collections for, it's overwhelming. And guess what? That helps you to put it off even more. So we're trying to make it easier process.
Yes. Thank
Cool
you.
beans. All right, let's go to Debbie. Debbie, which strategy do you think will improve your business model, and what obstacles do you have with your business model currently?
I like looking at other people's funnel just to see how they've set it up and their pricing and what they're offering and what's missing.
Love it. What
And
obstacles are you having?
obstacles, I would say probably a retention plan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I use Amazon a lot, but I like their buy again, where I'm kind of like, oh, what did I buy before? or what did I look at before?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's something I could do with that.
Well, I know 1 week we talked about customer win back stuff that you could do. So I'm gonna give y'all that link. Boom, there you go. And so maybe that'll be helpful to you, because 1 week we talked about it a whole week, right? What we can be doing to win people back. So that's client retention. So
Mm-hmm.
check that out. Even go back to It's probably on YouTube by now, even if we started off in just the Facebook group live streaming. I think that particular week is on YouTube now. So you can even go back and look at the morning show, because we do more on the morning show than what's in the blog. But that's the link to the blog, shaycannon.com/win. And it's about win backs.
Okay.
All right, Debbie. Cool beans. Dr. Tachi, which strategy do you think will improve your business model from the list that we gave today? And what obstacles are you having with your business model as it is?
Content marketing.
Content marketing. So that's the one that you're going to look at it and improve, or is that the obstacle, or both?
Yeah, it's both. We're doing it, but I want to improve it.
It's funny because I don't know, was it somebody put out a case study yesterday? I don't know if it was Casey Brown, because she's usually the one that put out case studies, but they did it on Tubi, and it might have been somebody else, but they basically was saying that a lot of people thought that Tubi was Black owned because how heavily it marketed to Black people and how efficiently and how much it resonated with Black people, because they know we like jokes, right? We gonna watch some stuff even if it's not good quality. If we know you're not putting it out there to be good quality, we know you putting it out there not to be good quality as a theme, so we can laugh, and then we know that we gonna talk about it and make other people want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? They talked about how, Tubi is a success, and Tubi is owned by Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So maybe look at things like Tubi and how they're bringing people to the content. Instead of just looking at a Netflix or just looking at an Amazon Prime, even though we're looking at them too. So we want to look at how are these these streaming sources, how are they pulling in people to watch, and how can we adapt that to be aligned with your mission and vision? Is that helpful at all? Because it's not all just Netflix. Like the way Tubi did it, they're making billions. You know what I'm saying? So they doing something right. So what is, and they're attracting our people. So we need to be looking at them. And I'm not familiar with a whole bunch of streaming networks, but you may be. And if not, you may need to get familiar with the different ones. Even if they are ones that are kind of, I'm going to say niched, right? Because what we know is Masterclass is streaming. It's just niched, but they still have a way to attract their people. You got Gaia is one, Mind Valley is another. So maybe get into some of these niched streaming services to see how are they pulling people in. Is that helpful at all, Dr. Tachi?
Yes.
Cool beans. All right, let's go to Dr. LaFera. Dr. LaFera, which strategy do you think will improve your business model out of the ones we listed today? And what obstacles are you having with your business model currently?
Mine is the content pillars and just content pillars and how they use them and how they resonate. So I've been doing a lot of, especially this last week, since I know more about who I want to talk to. I've been looking at other health coaching offers and stuff and all that type of stuff. But I am not just looking at the offers. I'm looking at how they talk about them. Mm-hmm. And so, so for me, I'm looking at, when I do that, I'm looking at okay, how can I apply that to who I want to speak to women over 40 who may have chronic illness and issues with inflammation. And I'm like, okay, so this is how I can apply this and keep it engaging. And so that's what I've been doing. And so when obstacle, I guess it's taking a minute, but I guess it's fine because I just want to do it right. So.
Mm-hmm. So are you saying that you're also having a mild obstacle with adapting content? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't have a lot of stuff to look at so far. When I'm finding these people, because I don't find a whole lot of them, but then I don't want to look at a whole lot of them because a lot of them don't lay stuff out. So it's just taking a minute, but I just decided I was going to do it that way. So Yeah, if I had to say an obstacle, it would just be, it's not a quick process because like I go through everything.
Okay. So I'm looking through my notes because when I was working on my own clarity, I wrote some notes on some of the things I wanted to look at when I look at other people's content. Um, and of course, as I'm looking for it, it's not jumping up. It's not jumping out at me the way that I want it to, so that I can share it. Oh, here it is. Um, so I wanted to look at how people were sharing their successes. How are people sharing their failures? Because we know that that connects with people, right?
Yeah.
Because it's that quote unquote transparency. I wanted to look at how they're sharing their client successes, how they're sharing their client failures, how they're sharing what they believe and their thoughts that make them a thought leader, because they're not just on par with everybody else with their thoughts. They stand out with their thought leadership. I wanted to look at how do they talk about what's easy and what's hard about what they do. I said I wanted to look at how did they compare somebody just starting to somebody who's been in it a while. And I wanted to look at how do they use, the 4 clarity list that I told y'all about, which is what are the pain points? What does life look like with the problem? What are the desired transformations, and what does life look like with the transformation? I wanted to see how they use content around those things. So maybe if you focus on that, Dr. LaFera, and kind of get a rhythm of how you're sharing these different areas, it might make it a little easier, and not just easier to produce, but easier to kind of measure like what's working. Because sometimes when we are just throwing stuff out there, it's hard to measure. We don't quite know what's working and what's not. So maybe if you did it in a more regimented way as a formula, you can look at certain things to see exactly what's working and exactly what may not be working.
Yeah, and I like that because now I want to do more kind of like what you're talking about. It's like educational, like drawing people to you and like what makes you stand out, that type of stuff. That's what I'm really trying to get at. And so yeah, so that was real good. I took that now. Thank you, Shay.
All righty. Dewana, we know you in a downward dog, but come out for a second. What strategy do you think will improve your business model, and what obstacles are you having with your business model currently?
So revenue streams. Of course, I need to create more revenue streams. And as I'm going through this process, I'm really, really understanding that. And then the challenge is, of course, the marketing, content marketing approach.
Mm-hmm. So I
So
think, have you found people that you can that are gurus and looking at their stuff?
yeah, that's what I'm going through now.
Mm-hmm. So
Like
that would be my first step. Like find some people that you feel like are a fit and worthy of watching, and then start to apply what we're talking about now, right? But the first thing is going to be finding people. Kind of like Dr. LaFera, some of your people may be hidden. It's a lot of them out there. We know that. We know that the industry, is full. However, actually finding people to watch sometimes is not as easy. And then the pool of people to watch, finding quality people to watch out of that pool is also sometimes not easy.
And that's the challenge, it's like, you find, and you can pick bits and pieces out of everybody. Everybody is not going to be your everything. You don't need that. I just need to find the bits and pieces. But like you said, it's just getting through the minutia. And so, yeah.
And what we know is some of the people aren't even people that's still doing it currently. It's people who used to do it and now they're on a higher level, and we need to go back and look at how they used to do it. Like I'm always telling you, when I think of you, I always think about Rachel Ray, right? And how she used to do stuff, how she got known, and not how she is today, but how she became known. Right. And you can definitely do that to become known locally, and pull people into your business, because you are a local person right now. You don't have offerings for people that are anywhere right now. And so I do see things like that. So don't only look at who's doing things now, look at who used to do certain things. And don't forget that. Like I think even Martha Stewart started on a local network. You know what I'm saying? So let's see let's go back in some successful people and how they got started doing things
I
in
think that's
their
really kind of one of the best approaches. You look at the greats and like you just said, go back and see how they got started because they work to be great. Everybody wants to be great, so you continue to work to get there, but you had to start somewhere.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. Thank
Cool
you.
beans. Teray, which of the strategies from what we talked about today do you think will improve your business model, and what obstacles do you have with your current business model?
For me, brand positioning and messaging.
Okay.
So I'm still trying to get it right, if that makes any sense. I think that's been my biggest struggle up until now.
Well, it makes sense to me because I know you, right? So
Right.
I think for you, Teray, you might have to, instead of starting with what you want to do, you might want to start with all them people out there, what you don't like about what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're very analytical, judgmental. So it's going to be easier for you to look at other people and see what you don't like, then look at that list of don't likes and pull out likes that you might want to incorporate. And then those become your unique selling propositions. Those become, how your content goes versus how their content goes, right?
I think in some ways I've been doing that.
In some ways,
yeah.
do it intentional though, because
Okay.
how you do it
Yeah.
as happenstance and how you do it intentionally are different, right? And you get different results. One of the dating coaches that I follow, which I don't even know why I started following her because it definitely wasn't for dating. But she believes in you marrying a provider, right? She had a campaign of she wants you to find somebody that is feral about you. Not just somebody that like you, not just somebody that loves, but somebody that's feral about you, will damn near do anything for you. And so she was doing these celebrity case studies. So and so is feral about so and so, and she's giving the examples or whatever, right? So you could, like, the things that make your dating process different, you can definitely do, go live already, but really intentionally pull these case studies to show this is why what I'm saying works. And it doesn't have to be people it doesn't have to just be people that are your clients. It's just give them dating situations that they know of and that they know were successful, right? So, but I think if you start with what you don't like about what other people are doing, you're going to then come up with, okay, these are the things I can do differently, rather than starting with a clean slate of what should I be doing? Because that feels harder sometimes. It's a heavier lift, but it's easy, especially when we're experts at what we do. It's easy for us to look at people and be like, that's cringy. You know what I'm saying? And so when you start that list of what you don't want, turn that into a list of now you don't have a clean slate. You have something to work with.
Right.
Cool beans. All right. Heather. Good morning, Heather. Which strategy do you think from the list we talked about today will improve your business model, and what obstacles are you currently having with your business model?
The marketing funnel is probably still my biggest challenge. It's also the one I pay attention to. Like, you sent me, shit, I just threw my pen across the floor. You sent me something the other day, and when I went into it, and I'm mad because I ended up buying it too, and I didn't really mean to, but here we are. Whatevs. But I appreciated watching the way the funnel works. Ever since I've been in TSP and knowing you particular, I've been really paying attention to the funnels. And I know that my funnel is weak. And so that's where I notice, but also where my challenge is.
Yeah. I watch funnels too, because what I understand is, especially when we want to start making money on autopilot, we need to have funnels. And it's more than one, but we have to at least start with one that works and pull those elements into others, right? So there are more funnels. We tend to talk about them as one, but there's a lead magnet funnel, and then there's an offer funnel, and then there's a event funnel, and then there's a follow-up funnel, and then there's a promo funnel, and you know what I'm saying? So there are different funnels, and we should have a whole bunch of funnels working on our behalf in different ways, because this is a way that we sell every day without it being us actively selling every day, right? Like some tech is selling for us every day, and a part of that is going to be funnels. So
Agreed.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, as you get into paid advertising. Funnels is going to be what gives you a return on investment, not just what's in the ad. Okay, what's in the ad is the first attempt at giving an opportunity. There should be a funnel behind that ad that is repitching all the time and pulling them in to get something all the time. That's where your upsells and downsells and cross sells come in, right? Some of y'all are marketing your downsells and your upsells as though it's your main offer, and that's why people are confused. But some of your downsells should never even be seen unless they're in your funnel, right? So that is interesting. So was that helpful, Heather?
It's always helpful. So I'm just gonna say goodbye because I have to get going, but thank you for today as always. I love y'all. I hope you have an amazing and fabulous, wonderful Wednesday.
All righty, peace out. All right, so let's go over here to YouTube. We got Keith over here and Chantilly over here. Good morning. So Keith said he's going to work on his pricing and brand messaging. Chantilly said, I think my main focus right now would be looking at their social media models. My obstacles would be setting up my background and getting the technical stuff to look more professional on camera. Chantilly, when you say background, I want you to understand your background doesn't always have to be like mine, perfectly curated. What you can do is in your apartment, in your house, in your home, find 5 places that will be great to go to record video in or to take pictures in front of, okay? And that space does not have to be that big. Right? So every time, y'all know I move around. So, you know, like when I went to Argentina, the first thing I did was identified 5 places I can do video, right? One place is going to be where my full setup is, and then there are going to be other places. And I do that everywhere I go. So in this particular condo, I have this place. But if you've been following me, you know I didn't start right here. I didn't do this background until my grandmother came, and I knew she was going to be walking back and forth in my other background. The original background was my whole apartment, and I was facing the window. And then I have one in mind that I'm going to do when I do other videos where I'm on this counter over here and the TV is behind me, because on the TV, I'm going to have up something from my laptop. Right? So I can do something there. Y'all know there are 2 places on the rooftop that I do. I do with the pool behind me. That is my pool in my condo. And then I'm sitting down, and I do one where I'm standing up. That's the other people's pool next door. Right? I have one where I can sit at the table up there, and it be more of a view of Cozumel in the distance and more of this shrubbery directly behind me. Also in here, I have to where in my guest room, there is like this build out, right? That almost looks like custom shelving. I have it to where I could put my phone on the tripod on the bed, and I could be with the shelving behind me, and I can put different things there. So just identify different places where you are and a main place, Chantilly, but use what you have. It doesn't have to be perfectly curated, right? When I come into these spaces, I don't even own these spaces. These spaces are already furnished, right? So I'm usually finding things that are already here to help me create the scape I want behind me. I'm not always just buying stuff to go back there. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't always have this award, right? My daughter gave me this because she felt like it was a message that represents what I do. These are actually just mics from my tech inventory, right? So these are not the mics that I use, but because I do a lot of podcasting and morning shows and stuff like that, I felt like that would be great to go in my background. I love the color blue and orange as a part of my brand colors. So this picture actually used to be landscape, and this sofa used to be right here. So when I moved the sofa, I made the picture portrait so it could fit in this picture better. I mean, in this background better. This is a book that was already here, Mexico. These glasses were already here, but they were blue, so I brought them in, right? And so just be a little creative, Chantilly. It doesn't have to be, I have to go on Amazon and buy these things that are for like the neon lights and all of that kind of stuff. Don't overthink it. Just create one. Basically, if you got a clean background, okay, just make it clean. That's fine. Dr. Tachi, if you follow her, would teach you that your skin tone matters. Don't do things that wash you out. Like I always tend to have white walls where I am. And then of course, I'm lighter skin. So I wash out when I wear lighter colors, lighter skin on a lighter background. So, keep that kind of stuff in mind. But yeah, don't overthink it, boo. So hopefully that was helpful to you. All right, guys, let's do these announcements and then we can get up out of here, okay? As a reminder, you can get the morning show notes 2 ways, right? Number one, you can be in our free group. Go to shaycannon.info/group. We put them in there every morning show episode. And you can get the morning show in your inbox. So you can go to shaycannon.com/show. And what you'll get is in the morning, you'll get an email that reminds you to hop on YouTube Live, okay? And in the afternoon, you will get an email with 2 links. One will be to the replay and one will be to the show notes, all right? Today is the Clarity Clinic VIP extra bonus session. If you got the success kit, I will see you tonight. Let's see, tomorrow is Collab Live. We're going to live stream into the group for 30 minutes. So make sure you're thinking about what collaborations you need and what collaboration you can bring as value. And on Friday, it's our work session. We're going to get shit done. So that's what we're doing. Again, if you're not in our group, that's where Collab Live happens. That's where the latter portion of Get Shit Done work session, you get all the access in our free group. We told you it's a mastermind. So get in there, shaycannon.info/group. All right, guys, tomorrow, what we are going to be talking about is how to look at more things, how to get more for your business model. We're really going to be talking about coaching and consulting, okay? Because that's really how you get more. You need more in a way that is custom to you. So everything else we talked about is how we're looking at others and pulling it in ourselves. But you don't know what you don't know. So tomorrow we're going to talk about how do you get more, okay? All right, guys, that's it. The studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day, and we'll see you right